Good morning. It is Let It Go and Let It Grow. And today is that beautiful partial lunar eclipse, sturgeon moon, full moon, blood moon. And we are working into that kind of energy today. So, and this is once again about that big emotional release, releasing what no longer serves you. Allowing emotions to flow through you rather than attaching to them, and taking stock of what happened from September of 2024 till now. Where are you, and what changes are you willing to make for yourself? Go on this bigger journey to raise your consciousness, to raise your spiritual practices, and just to get in touch with a better version of yourself. Who do you want to be now versus who you were 2 years ago? And what does that path look like for you now as you release these energies? So what are we letting go of today? And that is the World. And what are we letting grow today? And that is the Hermit. These are both major arcana cards today. Deeper soul lessons, transformations, spiritual evolutions, significant chapters of our lives unfolding today. So the World is traditionally associated with Saturn and Capricorn, and the earth elements of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And the Hermit is Virgo energy ruled by Mercury. Because both cards carry strong earth energy, but they're moving in very, very different directions. The World represents completion, integration, accomplishment, and the closing of a cycle. And the Hermit represents reflection, solitude, wisdom, and our inner journey, which these are both perfect for going into this energy today. So today moves from look what I've completed into now, what did it teach me? Sometimes we are so eager to begin the next chapter that we forget to sit with the wisdom of that completed cycle that we just finished to see what we have learned out of that, which is what I was just talking about with the Pisces energy moving through for the last 2 years. So let it go, the World. So the World is a normally beautiful completion card. You traveled through the major arcana. This is the last card of the major arcana. You've learned, you've fallen, you've grown, you've changed, you've taken that whole circle around, that whole journey around. But when it's in the let it go position, it is asking us to recognize what chapter is completed, when it is a complete finish. Release what you have already reached and accomplished. So this is recognizing that that circle has closed, that there is completion. And I see this almost as a portal today, her coming through that portal on the other side of all the completed tasks that she has done. Let go of trying to recreate a chapter that has ended. If there's something that has truly ended, there's a lot to be said with nostalgia and bringing ourselves back to the past and reminiscing, but we can't keep on reopening that book and trying to change the ending of those chapters, because that's not how life works. We progress and we move forward. So by going backwards and doing the I wish I had, the I should have done, I should have said, you are actually, causing I just saw like a rupture in time, so to speak, because you can't really actually go back and change anything that has already happened. You can just take those lessons and move forward with them. Release the pressure to immediately know what comes next. And that leans heavily into the next card. So don't project, don't fortune tell. Sit with this energy right now. Sit with the completion. Sit with the joy of knowing certain things have come to an end, that cycle is completed around. I love the beautiful sacred geometry in this, how the source energy is coming down and enlightening her. And once again, when I see white in these cards, to me that symbolizes the spiritual nature of that lesson that has happened. So she has gotten the lesson. She is full of color and ready to move on. Let go of identities that belong to earlier versions of you. I've noticed a big shift in myself lately, and things that I want to purge out of my own life that were me in a different incarnation of me, but I've outgrown. So I'm looking, I said to Ray the other day, I want there's a lot of things I want to sell off in the house now that they were me, but they're no longer me. And I'm at a state that, that would normally cause me anxiety, but I'm actually ready for that space. So that's the type of energy that is. Celebrate how far you've come without feeling obligated to stay where you've arrived. So we are passengers, we are journeyers, we are travelers in this plane. We are here for inspiration, information, grief, tragedy, trauma, enlightenment, joy. We are here for it all, and we are here for such a short time that we need to really sit with those emotions and let them pass through us, and recognize just how far this journey has been for us. And even some of the hardest things you have gone through, I can smile at them now because they have taught me so much on the journey. Allow endings to actually be endings. You can see this is almost like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail there. So you don't want to keep chewing on something that's done. So allow those endings to actually be that. They are endings, full stop. But sit with it for a while as you enjoy the journey that you've come, and then let that all pass through you today, and trust that that completion creates that new space that you need to continue on your journey. And this is funny because I was talking to one of my mentors the other day, and I was telling her, she was like, "Oh, your computer's slow, and I looked at it and I had like 8 windows open, and some of these windows had 38 tabs on them, and some of these things I'm there because I'm interested in them. I know I'm never going to go back to them. So I took a deep breath at the end of that day and I closed all my tabs. So this is about closing those tabs, creating space, and seeing how things run better for you when you do that, because you have that space now to move around, and it's not clogged up energetically, it's not clogged up physically, and I just heard the word meridians open. So the meridians are open for that energy to flow through in a natural manner for you. So sometimes we keep returning to closed doors simply because we remember how much it once meant to us, and we can have those memories and we can sit with those memories, but we don't have to live there anymore. So the world gently says you can honor what was without needing to live there anymore, which is exactly what I just said. So it is an earth sign note for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Completion can sometimes feel surprisingly uncomfortable. Once again, it's that nervous system poking its little head out going, is this safe for me? And the earth energy loves foundations. It loves that grounding. It loves that stability. And so when you take something, or you view you're taking something away from it and aren't actually, that stability, that predictability, and that solid feeling beneath your feet can sometimes feel a little bit wobbly, but know that when you're letting go, you're actually laying down new foundations for your future. So Capricorn may immediately ask, okay, what's the next goal? But the world reminds you that you don't always need a mountain waiting for you in the next moment, that just because you're done something, you don't need another hill to climb to prove anything to anybody. Why don't you just sit in that valley for a while and, look at the river and sit with the trees, look around and recognize and say to yourself, I did all of this, and now I have that space to breathe, relax, and grow. So the Let It Grow card today is the Hermit, Virgo, which is influenced by Mercury. Grow your relationship with your inner wisdom. So now that you've come through that, take a little bit of time out to sit with yourself. You can see her, once again, she's in white. White to me is spirit, source energy, that inner spirit, that journeying towards enlightenment. And she is just sitting with herself, hovering around a mountain, and just taking it all in. Create intentional time for solitude and reflection. Carve out time for yourself every day. It could be as easy for you as a 5-minute practice of silence, or pick a song you like on YouTube that's 5 minutes, 7 minutes long, that really resonates with you, and just sit and be with it. If thoughts start to go through your mind, don't attach to them. Think about them for a second and let them drift by like clouds. Listen before automatically searching outside of yourself for the answers. You have all the wisdom you need inside, but sometimes we're so busy with everything going on in the outward facing world, what's going on in social media. Everything is going at rapid fire. Time is speeding up. So we don't take that slow stillness for us. And this is asking us to plug into our inner spiritual soul needs, that inner journey, and allow yourself to be quiet and let that quietness become part of your spiritual practices. Be curious about what your experiences have taught you. Journal a bit, talk into your phone, and create a note. If you're not a writer, I don't like journaling. I vlog to myself sometimes, so I do have a running vlog. It's a group I set up between my husband and I. So in case I ever pass away first, he has something to look back on, because I know he doesn't watch them now. But it'll be something for him to touch base into and see what my thought process was over certain issues. So, trust your own guidance. Give yourself permission to step away from the noise and find that silence and solitude. We're coming into the end of summer. Things are going to start to get busy for a lot of us again. I don't have children, but kids going back to school and businesses picking back up. That energy of summer leaving us behind and getting back into our old habits. And that's one thing, completion. Let go of those habits that don't serve you. But getting back to our routine life, traffic's going to increase. More people are going to be back on the road. So this is asking you to take that silent space and time for yourself to reflect, sit with yourself in the shadows, and grow. Just grow into the you want to become, and let that wisdom grow from everything that you've already lived through, everything that you've been through. Let that be a part of your journey and the new version of you that you want to bring into the world. The Hermit isn't asking you to disappear from your life. He's just asking you to step away from the noise and take a spiritual time out for yourself. So once again, earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. For Virgo, the Hermit carries a particular personal message. Mercury gives Virgo an analytical mind that naturally wants to understand, why did this happen? What did I learn? What could I have done differently? And what's next? And for Taurus and Capricorn, the invitation is similar, but reflection doesn't need to become another project or another to-do list or another list in general. I know how much Taurus love making lists. So you don't have to analyze every experience until you've squeezed every last lesson out of this. Sometimes wisdom arises simply because you've given yourself enough quiet time to actually notice it. So the deeper message for these cards today, the reading feels like a finishing to a long journey, realizing that before the beginning for one another, you need to sit down for a while. The world is saying this chapter is complete. Once again, beautiful for this Pisces partial eclipse moon, the full moon, the blood moon, working through that emotion and realizing the chapter is complete from the past. Take stock on what has happened. And then the Hermit is saying, let's understand what this taught us, and where there's so much energy with this moon with spiritual emotions. It's a perfect time to do this today. So that's the heart of this message. We often rush from one experience into another without allowing ourselves time to integrate everything we learn. I know in psychedelic spaces with psychedelic experiences and medicine, integration is the key. The psychedelic itself is a tool. It will open your consciousness. It will create neuroplasticity. It will help your brain rewire itself. But if you get up from that experience and just go back into your life as a normal human being, patterns are going to resurface. You're going to live the life that you had. You might have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more joy, but eventually you will get back to the old you. It's the integration that is the key, and you need to integrate these experiences into the core being of who you are, so these neural pathways, the neuroplasticity, can solidify around them and rewire you to the version that you want to be. And you can do that through meditation. You can do that through breath work. You don't need psychedelics to do that, and I am not saying run out and do psychedelics, but integration for the psychedelic experience is absolute key. So completion and integration are not the same thing. Something can be over while we are still discovering its meaning. So the Hermit is gathering wisdom. Perhaps you don't need to know what it is today. Perhaps the next step is simply becoming quiet enough to recognize how much you've changed. You aren't walking away empty-handed. You're carrying that wisdom with you, and release what's completed its purpose. Grow the wisdom that came from living through it. You don't immediately need to fill that space by the ending. Pause, reflect, listen, and allow yourself to discover who you've become before deciding where you're going next. The space between the chapters isn't empty. It's sacred space. It is a sacred space. So, what chapter of your life may already be complete, even if a part of you is still holding on to it? And before asking what's next, what wisdom from everything you have experienced deserves to be acknowledged? And once again, integration is absolute key for all of these experiences, because you can't grow when you have 400 tabs still open. You get clogged. Things don't work well. Your computer freezes, it crashes, it knocks you off, and you can it knocks you offline. And you can think of your body as the exact same way. If you're overthinking, over ruminating, and have you can't make this shit up. So that is the Shaman's Dream Oracle, and we're finishing with a tidy house, clarity, and organization. So that is exactly what I was just talking about. Close those tabs. See how much the clarity and organization, the energy flow happens when you tidy up your house. That can be physically cleaning your space. The completion of this energy tonight, I say to you, if you want to put your crystals out, do that. Great time for smudging, clearing that energy out. If you want to tidy up your computer, closing those tabs down, blessing them, saying, you know what, it was funny of me to think that I'd ever get back to 180 tabs. But just let that space go, and then tidy the inner house. Take that quiet time for that contemplation, that meditation. Once again, find a song on YouTube that you like, 5 minutes long. Start there. See what comes up for you. Let the emotions and thoughts float through like clouds, and then integrate that experience. So that is the tidy house, clarity and organization. You're not going to get the information you need from chaos. You're going to get the clarity you need from calmness, peace, completion, releasing what no longer serves you, releasing those emotions, and just sitting with yourself and doing the work and integrating, and knowing that, letting your nervous system knowing that completion. I just heard this. Completion doesn't mean loss. Completion is not a cycle to get back to if you are going through grief. Completion doesn't mean grief. Completion doesn't mean loss. It means that you are tidying the house and defragging your own mind. So that is it for today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.